everybody. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. I'm Lainey Ashker here, obviously. Thought the live was postponed yesterday. We have a sick bird still with us, but not doing so well, but we figured we'd hold out a little hope and try some different antibiotics, so fingers crossed for that. At any rate, I thought this would be a good group for everybody to check out today, as I am on an off-the-track thoroughbred. She's a 6-year-old. Her name is Sweet One, aka Flo. She's very fluffy. She's owned by Olivia McQuarrie. My mom sourced her off the track in California and started her. I showed her last year at beginner novice level, and she's schooling novice training level stuff. Very green, I will say, but extremely willing, extremely simple ride. But wants to be a little bit stiff, but again, because she's just green, so I figured this would be a really good exercise. Hopefully you guys see an improvement over the course of however long this live is. Then we've got Elyse, and Elyse is riding Leo, aka Dromolin, who is an Irish sport horse, who she bought from Haley Cates, who's also one of my students. Haley took the horse up to training level successfully. I competed him at a prelim. And Elyse is now schooling. She did a beginner novice with him last year, but schooling. You did novice, didn't you? She did novice with him as well last year successfully, schooling training level stuff. So he knows enough. He's a very, I would say, a little bit of an easier ride, but you'll find that all these different stride lengths and different builds of the horses and pony are great to see how they work through this exercise. The next one is my mom riding Bayron's Raven. Raven's a homebred. She's now a 5-year-old this year, rising 5-year-old. And she also, with Flo, did their first show last year at Waradaka, beginner novice, did it successfully. And she's also got a big stride, a big jump, and again, super, super green. I'd probably say the greenest out of all of them, just because she just needs some more experience, but a talented, willing little mare. And then last but not least, Carina, walk up so everybody can see you. This is Digby and Carina. Digby's done a couple 1-stars last year. He's only stands at 14-1. He's a Welsh-Dutch pony and extremely talented little dude. And Carina is riding him. Obviously, Carina's been a long-time student of mine, and she has 2 horses. One is, what is Ringo's show? The drummer's called. Oh, sorry, Ringo. We call him Hot Dog and Bratwurst. I don't know his show name. And he also is a 1-star horse. These are her 2 young rider candidates. If you notice, Kelly, you can zoom in on Carina's stirrups. So I tie, everybody that has any sort of lessons with me knows that usually I tie people's stirrups in. So there's different reasons though why I tie their stirrups for jumping and why I tie their stirrups for dressage. Dressage we'll worry about later. For jumping right now, because the pony is so short coupled, and the pony is quite a sharp ride. He is not an easy ride. Out of probably all these horses here, he's probably the most difficult ride because he's quite sharp. And what I mean by sharp is he's sensitive. So if Carina, because she's tall in her waistline, if she falls behind him, he goes really forward. She gets ahead of him, well, because he's so small, it puts his balance on the forehand. So what I've done, if you see, I don't use baling twine for the jumping. I use although I have before, but we're doing the pony club way today. But a good thing to use are the spur straps, which I think are pointless for spurs, but they're the rubber spur straps. Throw them away, take them off your spurs, and put them on your saddle, your jumping saddle, and use them. All that does, obviously the rubber gives way a little bit so you can use your leg, but also for Carina, if I find that if you have a very stable lower leg, then your upper body can stay quieter, right? Because she rides the pony a little bit in a half, so you just stay with him because he's got quite a big jump. Again, because he is so sharp, if her point of balance begins to fall back, then he shoots forward, right? And then he's perceived to be strong. You see he's only going in a snaffle. But if she falls forward, then he can't make the distance of the horse strides. So again, you'll be able to see how we sort of work through this today. I'm going to start, and then I'll have Mom go, so that we sort of go on a upscale of from greenest to least green. I'm going to start on Flo. We're going to go off the right lead, and we're going to start with this little circle exercise of 4 verticals. Again, I didn't put the numeric numbers, the numeric striding out there because I did it based off feel. I don't know how everybody's arenas are set, so I did it the first time on Patrick. It was a disaster, so I had to get off and reset it. So if anybody has any questions on like how many feet are in a stride, I'm happy to tell you that. But you're gonna have to play with that, play with them and make sure that they're evenly spaced out, because it walked a 4-stride originally, but because I had the 2 sides, it was too oval. So I had to just play with it and bring the sides in and push those sides out just to make it circular. So again, it's sort of, you gotta play with it a little bit. Once you get it, like keep it for a while, because it does really help. So I'm hoping that by the end of this lesson that especially the greener horses and the pony are able to open their stride and ride nice and be a little more soft and supple, and I found that it's helped with everybody else so far. So I'm gonna start with Flo. Again, you're gonna see our mistakes. You're gonna see how we work through the mistakes. I'm not riding a trained horse right now. We're in the process of training her. So if it goes ass up, then it's okay. It's all about being able to work through it. We're gonna start with the right lead. Again, it is 4 strides to 4 strides to 4 strides to 4 strides, and we'll continue on that circle until it becomes easy.
And we want to let everyone know that Flo's tail will grow out.
Yes, we hope Flo's tail grows out. Tick bite.
It's growing now.
Sorry, Olivia. We're working on it. It hurts a little bit. As you see, also side note, as I'm trotting around working my horse up, I jump, and you'll see with Mom. I don't know what Elyse does. Elyse. Carina doesn't ride with the whip because the pony's sensitive, but when I ride with the whip and jumping, for schooling purposes, I ride with a dressage whip. It's like a shortened version of a dressage whip. I don't tend to use a lot of spur with my horses. I think that it covers up for your seat. You need to use your seat and just training. But the reason why I use a dressage whip is so that I don't have to reach way behind to tap them. And I think it's a good training aid for jumping, right? So even Patrick, I'll use one. Comet, I'll use one. Al, I use one. Okay, so you saw it started off a little bit shaky, and then once we kept going through it, we were able to work through getting my outside rein contact, pushing her forward, getting her confidence, right? I tended to let her, because I feel like the distance is a little shorter there, which it doesn't matter, right? I let her fall in a little bit so I'd get there close the first couple times. Well, I figured that out. Okay, need to take more outside rein. And so it's a really good learning process for both the rider and the horse. So, all right, let's see how Mom does. Now, my mom can't hear anything. So, and I have no voice from teaching 2 clinics in a row in Costa Rica and South Carolina. So, I'm gonna do my best to sort of talk to you guys. Good, stay tall. Good, outside aids. Good job, outside aids. Perfect. Yep, lower your outside hand so you don't lose that shoulder. Yes. Wonderful. Yes, ma'am. Good, let her walk. Brilliant. Super. All right. All right, we're gonna go to Elyse. You're gonna go last because we're gonna put your jumps up at the end.
Am I still going before?
Yeah, of course. Are you gonna put 5 strides and a 4 stride at your 1-star?
I'm gonna put 4 strides.
No.
4 strides.
That's right. That's what I like to hear. Flo, you did a good job, Flo. Pardon? Mom, that was fantastic. That was really nice. Good girl. Yes, upper body quiet, don't pump with your body. Stay with him a little bit. Careful that you don't fall back in the air. Yes, stay with him. There you go, stay with him like you're going on a 20-meter circle. Yes. Lower your outside hand, quiet upper body, softer elbows. Good. Yes. That's okay, that's okay. Your outside hand is getting a little too high, Elyse. Keep that left hand low. Soften the inside rein forward. Forward, react. If you're adding a step, react from the landing side. It's all right, get it together. Yep, keep going, doesn't matter. So again, if you keep letting him fall out when he lands, yes, great reaction. Keep turning to the right, bringing the shoulders to the inside. Lower your outside hand. Not pulling the outside rein. Yes, good one. Once more, keep going. Come on, keep going. Keep going, come on, keep going. Don't fall back on him in the air. Go with him. Keep going. Land and think of your first step as your longest step. Yes. Good, outside aids. Yes. Good girl. Yep, one more time. Yeah, it's from that one to that one that we're losing him, right? That's where you gotta be more aggressive with your left leg, closing your left rein, but going with him in the air. Tighten that lower leg. Come on, keep going. Wake him up. Yep, without falling forward. Don't give the reins away to ask him to expand, Elyse. Organize. Organize. Stay with him. Think a little half seat. Think a little half seat. Little half seat. Yes, half seat. Yes, half seat. Tighten the lower leg. Half seat. Good, half seat. Lower your hands, half seat. Ah. Right, so right there is where you let him fall out. You feel that?
Yes.
Fix it. Good, good. Now keep turning, keep turning. Yes, ma'am. One more time and let him walk. Good, and now let him walk. Good job, wonderful. Right, so notice that. So in between, because when we go the other direction, in between the black and the green is where you lose his shoulders. It's not because I think he throws his shoulder out one way or the other. I think it's probably because he's going towards the horses. He thinks he's stopping, right? And make sure, especially when you go back to watch this video, your outside hand gets higher and higher, right? Keep the outside hand low like we would in dressage. Good job. Think of staying in your half seat, Carina. Good. Good girl, half seat. Yes, bring both your hands towards your inside hip. Good job. Good job. Super. Quiet your upper body. You don't need to lean forward over there. Just stay solid. Yeah, exactly. 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 One more time. Good. Let him walk. Wonderful. Very good. Good. Let him walk. Beautiful. Awesome. All right, guys, we can put the next poles up. We'll go to the left. Fantastic, Karina. that shoulder. Block that right shoulder. Yes. Yes. Steady, steady, steady. Yeah, careful not to fall in. That's okay. Good job. Lower your outside hand, quiet your body. Now stay out, stay out. Good job. Yes, keep going. Good. That's okay. Quiet your body. Outside in, stay out, stay out, stay out. Yep, gonna adjust twice more. Know that the blue of yours is a little shorter to adjust. Your hands are too high. Yeah, you let her fall in there last minute though, Mom. You understand? Stay out. Good job. Yes, now fight for the next two. Keep going. Come on, keep going. Legs. Yep. You're still letting her fall out over here. Now keep going between the green. Bring the shoulder to the left. Keep going. Yep. Jump on the left side of this vertical. Left side of this vertical. Left side of the vertical. Nope, that's the right side. Yep, to the inside. To the inside. Stay here. Stay here. Juliet, gotta be a lot quicker than that, girl. Not standing with the pony. Good. Yes, now fight for it. Fight for it. Come on, keep going. Stop. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Juliet, you're gonna set down strong. You gotta put it in the program. It's okay, get yourself coordinated. Get yourself coordinated. Shorten your reins. Shorten your reins. Good. Now take a deep breath. Good. Keep turning. Outside eight. Outside eight. Outside eight. Outside eight. Yeah, good. So you're losing her in between these two. Keep turning. Keep turning. Yes. Let her walk. Wonderful. Let her walk. Good. Let her walk. Let her walk. Walk. Good job. Good job. So think of in between here, not letting the fall correct because you don't want to naturally go to where the horses are, okay? So you'll notice, guys, that every horse has a direction where it's harder for them, right? So whether their shoulders fall to the right or shoulders to the left, it's like people. They're right-handed or left-handed, or right-hooked or left-handed, okay? And we have to make the adjustments for that. I don't mind that this is a little bit shorter, right, and this is a little bit longer, because it makes the rider have to use their brain, right? And it's like by 3 feet. But it makes a big difference. It shows off if you're letting your shoulder fall out at all, or letting your shoulder fall in. So Elyse said, wait for out, you missed that one. And she's just leaning to the inside here, right? If you just lean to the inside and the shoulder falls straight. Good job. Outside eight. Yes. Yeah, that's 3 strides there, though, right? That's where you have to stay out in between the blue and the orange. Everybody's got a hard time. Whoa, that's bad. Good. Now right rein. Right rein. Yes. Good job. Yes. Keep going. Uh-oh. So if you guys notice when Elyse wants swing to the inside because you get 3 strides here and 5 strides here. Yeah. You can think of being able to sit squarely in between your horse's shoulder blades, right? I want you guys to work on that when we do the turning question of the officer. It's hard for everybody. Good girl. Yeah. Super. Follow with your hands. Follow with your hands. Yes, use your body as a pendulum to balance him. Yes, lower your heel, Karina. Lower your heel. I want it to look pretty like a hunter. You're the most experienced out of this class. So don't let it look like it's running. Yes, the rhythm should stay the same. Yes, stay tall. Don't lean forward. Lift your chin. Imagine if I tied a string to the top of your helmet and pulled straight up. You got it. You got it. Yes, 20 more. Super. Rhythm. Let him walk. Fantastic. Very good. Big so that's good. Good. So it's very easy for Karina's pony to get too quick and to get too speedy, right? Again, if she sort of gets, it's all about a balance with him, right? And that's why he's a good teacher for her. Last summer she was having some issues and losing a little confidence only because he's extremely sharp. It's like now she's got more experience, so now she's got the confidence to back it up. But initially, when she first came to me, she's doing novice level, and she had put a large bit in his mouth and not ever trained him to the seat aids, right? So for me, at least my theory, being taught from, people like Buck, like Stephen Bradley, like Philip Dutton, who ride a lot of snaffle users. For me, if you're having to use, especially, it's one thing for advanced level, but for, prelim and below, if you're having to use anything other than a snaffle or some variation of a snaffle, then you need to go back to your training, right? And there's something that you're skipping in your training of your horse, right? And so for Digby, with the bit that he was going in, with Karina specifically, because his past owners that were riding the training level, I think rode him in a snaffle. It was lack of Karina's understanding of how to use her seat, right? And it's not a falling back in a driving seat, and it's also not falling forward. And I'm really adamant about her learning how to ride on this horse, pony I should say, because he really, really demonstrates when she does it correctly, right? Because it's all about balance. It's like, and I compare riding Digby to anything that William Foxpit rides because he is so tall, right? And he's not tall from his legs, right? And he's tall in general, but he's really tall from his hips, his waist up. So if you're tall here, it makes it that much more important to be that much more balanced in your upper body and your center of gravity, right? I'm lucky because my height comes from my legs. I'm pretty short here. But at the same token, I don't want to push my horse to the front rail because I came forward, right? If we're here to a jump, we're putting their pressure, they're putting their balance on their forehand, okay? So, guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to do our blue to our black 5 to 5. Just going to go all the way around. Our green to our orange 5 to 5. Then we're going to do our blue 5 to our black. Then bend to the 4 green. Then bend to the 4 green, okay? Stay out, make sure you stay straight. Then our black, 5 to black, bending line to the blue, 4, bending line to the orange, and 4. Okay? Questions?
This is where the stuff hits the tarmac.
Well, I think it already did. We can do it! Come on, Flo. Flo has no idea.
Flo's saying, yeah, right.
Come on, Flo, we gotta go. Flo, we gotta go. Flo, we gotta go. because she doesn't have a great understanding of proper flexion. And again, that's just because she's green, not young, because she's 6, but she's green. So we're continuing to work through that. So I wanted to do that a second time because I felt like I did a poor job of setting her up for success from the green to the green by letting her fall in and made her job a little too hard. Lack of outside rain, right? And then when she dug a little bit deep here, she still didn't learn how to really react to my leg. So I just had to train her up a little bit. I got the same exact distance the second time versus the first time, but I reacted a lot sooner to get her to get a better distance here to make that turning question a little bit easier.
Yeah, it was a lovely ride. You just made her get forward from that first ride landing. That was such a good ride, Lane.
She's a good girl.
She is a good girl. Lovely.
Nice, Mom. Steady, steady. But keep the hands very low. Hands low. put the rest of them up like, let's just put the options up 2 for us. And I'll go up 2 more for Karina. Good, good jump. Good, open, hold the outside. Much better, much better. Let them walk on that, fantastic. Fantastic. Great job problem solving through there, super. You have to do that circle again because his haunches just flew out the whole way. Guys, my biggest pet peeve, huge pet peeve, is when people go to their, Karina's going to demonstrate it here. When people go from their canter after they've done a course and they just like forget all their dressage work and they have, right? And the horse goes back to like walk, or Digby likes to throw his haunches out literally every other direction. So I'm a huge eater with Digby. I'll go like canter, put it together, and go canter walk because we're always trying to not shorten him so much, but rebalance him. But like in most of my clinics, I'll see a lot of people, and it's more of an amateur thing. I've never seen a professional do it, but you get a little tired, and all of a sudden you just let the horse walk, right? Even from the canter, you'll be tired, you just let the horse walk. Really focus on testing your mental strength on where you are. It's okay to take breaks, but make sure that you don't teach the horse bad habits by going from the canter and all of a sudden, oh God, I gotta break, I gotta walk, right? Because then what if that happens in your test, right? What if you get tired in your test? Your horse has to learn, both you and your horse have to learn to push yourself a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer. Same goes, you don't ever see any of the top professionals. I've watched at the world's best competitions in my life. You can ask any top professional. When we're doing a jump course, they don't just let the horse sprawl out or look like a pancake when they go from the trot. Everything is perfect. Practice makes perfect. So from your very first upward into the canter, I'm not going to go present to my jump on the wrong lead, right? I'm going to fix my leads in between the jumps. So really focus on honing on the 85% of what goes on in your jump course, which is not jumping. It's the navigation part of what goes on in between the jumps, right? Let's face it, doing this stuff, we all know how to jump. What this is focusing on is the 85%, which makes the courses so hard, is the navigation. If we can navigate well, then our courses should be easy, okay? All right, now guys, what we're gonna do, we're gonna come off the left and we're gonna start with the orange, 5, 5, 5, 5. And then we'll do the orange to the orange, turning, and the green to the black. And then the green 5 to the orange, 4 to the blue, 4 to the blue. Remember, this 4 to the blue rides a little shorter than that one did. So we'll keep an eye, we'll adjust it to that. What did you say, which one, hon? I thought when I rode Patrick, is that one up there? When I rode Patrick, the very last line, the blue, rode a hair shorter. Go figure it out.
Let me get out of the way of the video.
Go. because I felt like I got her into a pretty good distance that first one, and she sort of ran through it. So I'm going to see if she learned from that at all. yourself reorganize so that you're not continuing to lengthen and lengthen and lengthen. Like I told you in the beginning, he will jump a clear around, right? But he can't jump a clear around if he's out of balance. So when you're constantly lengthening on a jump, you're putting the balance beforehand, right? Think of landing and reacting. Your first step after your oxer, or your first step after your turning line is going to be your longest, but then you've got to support that. You've got, okay, I did my homework. Now I'm going to support that. You can't continue to ask him longer and longer and longer and longer. You can't get his legs out of the way. Okay? Start from the orange again.
Just the turning or still?
Just the turning, yeah.
Okay.
That's it, girl. Fine. Yes. Opening. Opening. Keep going. Great ride. Now organize. Now sit down. Organize. Good. React. Open. Now steady. Uh-oh. Great ride out. Come across the diagonal. So we got to make this, now this is easy, and you got 3, I want it in 4.
Okay.
Great adjustments though, really good adjustments, Olivia. Good, organize here, little outside eggs. Good job. Now stay to the outside, steady, good, steady, now look, open, legs on. Nope, go again, so if you stay out here, Elyse, you gotta land and react, you landed, it took you a whole stride before you reacted.
Yeah.
Right? That's what the question is here.
Reaction.
I want you to replicate that same first half. That was really good. Great job.
Beautiful, Roger.
Now steady, stay out. Yes, now open and rise. Open and rise. Good job. Woo! Awesome ride. Fantastic. Come on, fantastic. Okay, let's go 5. Let's go 2 more. Actually 3 more for the pony.
Good. That felt good, didn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
It makes sense. Are you with me
Yeah.
or are you talking to Kelly?
No, I was saying it.
Okay. Making sure.
You can hear it on video. I can like feel them from all my layers. Do you want any of the verticals up or not?
Pads all. Okay. Look at it. And the boot.
Okay, Karina, your turn. Pony. not cut your turn in, especially the point when you cut your turn in, you pull on the inside rein, you lose the shoulder to the left. Stay a stride further out in that turn. You understand? Use your right leg, start from the green offset. Organize. You have small jumps to your left and through and right. When you're flipping out for this. Take a deep breath. We're here to practice. Get better, not get worse. We're not here for Instagram followers. We're here to improve. Gold medals don't mean Instagram followers, Karina. Get that through your head. Allow the cannon. Good. That's range. Good girl. Fine. Good. Soft hands without falling back on him. That was 5 strides. Cross the diagonal. Do it again. Now stay in your half seat. So you have to keep falling back on into the turn. Give him a pet. He's doing a good boy. Got it, girl. Give your half seat. Good. You can let your feet be the saddle, but you can stay in half seat. You stay with him. Why did she have that down? What about the turn? She cut the turn in. Right, you're still cutting the turn into the green one. I much preferred the last time you did it. And again, you're coming off your right rein, you're making your turn way too soon, so every time he's throwing that shoulder to the left. Your half seat again.